What's up?
Eric Apple, directendorsement.com. Whew, it's been a long weekend.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out last night. That was fun.
No worries. Thanks for having me. I went to his concert last night, and it was
House of Blues, San Diego.
House of Blues, San Diego. It was a lot of fun.
Is that where we were?
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
He had to remind you where you were last night.
But yes, we are here to talk about a charity again, which is called Stop Hunger Now.
Yep.
And we'll let Simon give a talk about it.
Yeah, it's a charity I work with. My friend Scott Lazarson is a guy that I met who works with a charity. It's his charity. And basically, they just send food and reading glasses and toothbrushes to countries around the world that need it. And and you know, there's been a few charities I've worked with over the years, but never did anything hands-on. So he invited me to Guatemala one year, so I went down to Guatemala with boxes of food, these packages that provide like a bunch of meals. Like one little package feeds like 30 meals and reading glasses and toothbrushes. And the coolest moment for me was this. We were out in the mountains. They don't even speak. It was like going back in time. They never had seen anyone like me before. We were so deep. I don't think they've ever seen a white guy with like
that might be a blessing.
It was. They didn't know what to think. And I had like a phone and I was showing them video of themselves and their heads exploded. They couldn't understand the technology, and I taught this little girl how to brush her teeth. That was pretty cool, teaching a little girl how to brush her teeth. She had never had a toothbrush before. And that was pretty cool to do it hands-on. There's all these things, you give money, but you don't know where the money's going. So for me to go into the jungle and actually like hands-on, that's when I was like, okay, I'm working with these guys some more. So that's who I work with. That's who I rep the most.
Like, let me guess, white devil, white devil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were a little apprehensive of us. We got there, and it was, I guess, the men work in the fields all day, and the women and the children stay in the village. When we get to the village, mind you, there's no plumbing. It's just like irrigation. They dig holes, no electricity, nothing. And the men were all gone, so we were just there with the women and the children. Then when the men come back from work, they see these like white guys there about, so they were a little weary of us. They didn't know if they could trust us or not. And then they cooked the food, and it was all good, and we didn't get killed. It was good.
Is it like an MRE or MRA? What's the
MRE?
MRE, the military type
ration?
of?
Yeah, exactly.
Rationing?
It's like that. It's some rations that you just boil in a pot, and it provides like a type of oatmeal or something like that with a bunch of nutrients that obviously they you could tell when they're malnourished by it. They were teaching me this. If the kids have like white in their hair, they're malnourished because they look like normal. They're not skinny or anything, but if their hair is like white, so all these kids have the white hair, so they were malnourished. So we fed them to give them the nutrients that they needed. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff, man. You kind of an eye opener. You appreciate things when we complain about our iPhone signal or these first world problems we have. So that was it was humbling. It was humbling.
Very.
Yeah.
Well, what countries have you been to with the charity so far?
Just Guatemala so far. I'm gonna try to go to Africa soon. They do Southeast Asia, Africa, in America as well. But Guatemala was the only one that I've done so far. But I hope to do some more.
Politically, what is Guatemala like? Like, is it a safe environment for Americans?
Well, I don't think it's safe for anyone. It's actually it's like right by El Salvador, which is really bad too. And it's just, guns are out everywhere. It feels lawless. Like you walk around and the dudes are just out with pistols, and it just felt like at any minute
So there's not
you
much,
could get kidnapped or something.
There's not much infrastructure, not much help coming from their own government.
No, dude, no. It's pretty poor. And we were in Guatemala City, which is like their main city, and even that was just run down. It was, we got it pretty good up here. You realize that when you travel abroad. Even when you go to Mexico, you see that too. You're like, whoa, this is gnarly. We're just right below San Diego, and it's a whole nother world. It was like that there, maybe even more so.
Yeah, the average American doesn't really understand what other people have to go through.
Until you go see it, you can watch it on TV and these commercials, whatever, kind of disconnected. But when you go there and you're with the people, that's some real stuff. Yeah. Can I swear?
You can. Yeah.
That's some real shit.
Of course you can. Yeah. We're on the internet, so we can do whatever we want.
Oh, good.
But I forgot to really introduce you. This is Eric Apple, one of my best friends, and the most interesting athlete in the world, I guess you could call him, multi-sport athlete, and just an awesome, good-looking man.
Thank you. Oh, he is the good-looking.
Yes, you are obviously. We know who you are.
Okay,
Simon Rex. Let's see. What all do you do?
Do the rapping stuff as Dirt Nasty, which is a character. Let me reiterate that. People think that I'm really Dirt Nasty. There's like 5%. I like to say 5% of me is Dirt Nasty. The other 95% of me is Simon, just sort of a neurotic, normal dude. But when I get on stage, I'm crazy Dirt Nasty. And done some acting stuff, scary movies, those kind of. I do some stand-up comedy. Just like to make people laugh.
Is that the hardest thing?
What, stand-up? The hardest thing in the world. There's nothing harder.
Nothing harder. I've hosted TV shows when I was 18 years old, been in movies, been a professional athlete in a million different sports. There's nothing made me more nervous than trying to be funny on a stage.
Dude, that's the hardest thing in the world.
There can be just 20 people in the room.
That's even harder.
and it's worse than anything in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah, it is.
Trying to be
It's
funny.
real intimate because you could hear every little, like, the ice.
Fuck
in
you!
yeah, it's bad. I got booed off stage a couple times, and the nerves. I could imagine what it must be like. Well, maybe you guys don't get nervous for a fight. Like backstage, people always say before I go in, "Are you nervous?"
I
No,
get
this
nervous
is
for
normal
his fights,
now.
not for mine.
Right, you get nervous for other people, right?
Yeah, you don't get nervous for your own.
But for you guys, I'm sure it's normal. Just like for me, it's normal to go on stage. But with the stand-up comedy, the minute you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, tonight I got to go on stage and make people laugh. Like it's that feeling you get in high school when, at least I did, because I'm not a fighter dude, but I'd get those nerves when I knew I was going to get in a fight. That that fight or flight moment. You have those nerves all day long,
Yeah, it's the worst.
waiting until to get on stage for a 5-minute set. It's the worst. That's why I stopped doing it. I don't really do it anymore. Because in the Dirt Nasty shows, I crack some jokes in between
Yeah.
songs. I get some laughs, so I kind of get that out of my system. You know, just
And plus,
But
you
it's
like
different,
taking
when,
care of
it's different when the people are expecting you to be funny.
Totally.
They're expecting you to do a show, you're rapping, and then you throw in a joke that you catch them off guard.
It's a bonus,
But then
yeah.
they're there,
Yeah.
you're there to do nothing but make them laugh.
it's the worst. Or
so it's like, all right, make us laugh, motherfucker.
Dude, it's
Go.
I respect
waiting
those
for it.
comics. And you know what's crazy is the comics, you think they'd all be like funny dudes, but in real life, they're actually kind of dark. Like their comedy comes from a lot of pain and darkness. So
Yeah.
in real life,
That's
when you're
why
hanging
so
out with
many
these comics,
suicides and stuff
you're like
like that.
miserable, you know what I mean? But that's where the comedy comes from, is their pain. So, minus some comics, I know like Kevin Hart, he's always funny and in a good mood, but a lot of the comics, when I was doing stand-up, it would just be
They're serious,
some
yeah.
bitter, and it wasn't like a fun
Yeah,
atmosphere.
I hung out like Tosh. And like
Yeah.
he's serious in real life. He's serious can be. A guy not cracking
Oh,
jokes.
Tosh.0, Tosh, yeah.
He's serious as can be. He ain't funny.
Most comics are like that. It's weird. And then they get on stage. It's kind of like me with Dirt Nasty. You get on stage, oh, and they're like, and then they meet me in person, like, oh, you're kind of normal. I'm like, yeah, it's an act,
Yeah, it's all an act. That's
Yeah.
what people need to realize. It's all an act.
Yeah, it's all an act.
I don't.
It's all part of the show.
It's all part of the
Yeah,
show.
it's
When the
all
show's
part of
over, the show's over.
Yeah,
That's all it
exactly.
is. But okay, so we have this charity. Now, do you know roughly how much money you've helped raise, or the charity's raised every year?
Yeah, it's been, let's see, since in 1998 is when they started, and since then, I think 260 million meals have
Wow.
been provided around the world, which is a lot. I don't know the amount of money
legit.
that's been raised. It's mostly the money that's raised is just
Spent on the meals.
right into the meals and the reading glasses and toothbrushes.
Yeah.
I recently just did something in LA where we have about 50 people in a room with a timer going, and everyone's racing and just filling in these bags, and you just try to get 10,000 meals packaged within a certain amount of time, so it becomes like a game, and you have groups of people in a room, and everyone's competing with a timer to get the most ones packaged, so it becomes this thing, and you get other, like actors in there to promote it and tweet it out, and it just draws a lot of attention to it, and you know what I mean? If for me, someone like me, it's like I feel like I gotta do something. I gotta give back. I haven't really done that too much in my life, so for the first time, it feels good to be unselfish, I guess, for once, and not be,
You've been taking all your life. And
Yeah,
you
exactly.
could give back a little
a
bit.
little bit. You know what? It feels good, man. You're doing a good thing, and it's just, again, I've all these charities over the years that have come across and maybe donated money to or done something, but never have I been so hands-on that's why I'm so involved now with Stop Hunger now. Yeah.
Right, and they were saying I think it's 88.5% of the money that's given goes directly to the charity, which is huge.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that a lot of money they give in a charity doesn't get put in that.
Administrative costs.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm
Administrative
afraid
costs,
of.
i.e., my new car.
Right, right. I guess I just don't trust most people. Even in the past, I've done charity events. I did one a long time ago where I did some. It was horrible. These guys did a breast cancer charity thing. Then at the end of all this stuff, they kept all the money. You know what I mean? And I was involved in it. I didn't know they were going to do that. So I'm doing this, promotion with them, all this stuff. And then I found out they were keeping the money. It's like, oh, man, that's just awful.
Yeah, it makes you look like a dick.
Yeah, it makes me, even though I had no idea, but these guys, that's just the worst thing that you could do. I mean, could you think of anything worse than
No.
in the name of some type of, it's pretty messed up.
You're stealing money.
Like, we're
Yeah, there's-
scumbags, and that's bad.
That's bad. That's real bad. So again, that's why once I found Stop Hunger, now I said, okay, I'm riding with these guys.
Yeah.
260 million meals is legit.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of meals.
A lot of people fed.
That's a lot of people fed. And again, like the reading glasses, toothbrushes. There's so many things that that we take for granted that they don't have in places. So to just be able to something so simple, just to go there, bring it to them, give it to them, even though they're a little like, oh, what are you guys going? We're not really sure about you guys. But then once you win them over, pretty rewarding.
How does Stop Hunger decide what villages, countries, what areas are going to?
I don't really know how that works. I think they just they have. I'm sure they have some people that work there that figure out what places need it the most. And you know, obviously there's so many places in the world that need it, but they primarily go to South America, Central America, Asia, and Africa. Those seem to be the areas that need it the most. So yeah, that's it. But I'm not sure. I don't really know how it works.
Not a lot of third world countries in Europe and North America, so
No,
you pretty much, or Antarctica.
No,
so you
not
covered
too
everything
many.
else.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty much it.
way to narrow it down.
There is
Yeah.
Florida,
There's Florida.
so
Yeah. That's,
you never know.
yeah.
Well, because Florida.
yeah.
Yeah, I won't even comment on that one.
So are people able to? Are people hitting us up to talk with us? Is
So,
that
yeah,
how this works?
like
Sorry,
this-
I'm new to this one.
That's right. So the first question, you know, people ask, we have a live chat. So they ask a
Got
question
it.
like, Dan from Ohio wants to know what got you started in music.
Got it. Oh, okay. What's up, Dan from Ohio? I was producing music as a producer for years as a hobby. I just would make beats. You know, nowadays you could get a computer and just make little garage band beats.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and my friend goes, "Yo, you got to meet these two rappers." And I'm like, "I'm not really trying to work with. I'm just doing this as a hobby." He goes, "No, trust me, you got to meet these guys." And he brought over to my house Mickey Avalon and Andre Legacy. This was over 10 years ago. My friend who brought them over, he's in jail right now. Otherwise, I'd have him call in and tell the story or do something with us. But yeah, he's locked up. Anyway, he says, you got to meet these dudes. And they walk in the room. I'm like, these guys are rappers? If you guys don't know who Mickey Avalon and Andre Legacy are, look them up.
They don't look
They
like
don't
your
really fit the
typical
mold,
rappers.
you know. And I was like, well, these guys are great, image-wise. Oh, they can actually rap. So we formed a group, and I would be making beats for them with the objective of them to go on stage and do the performance, and I would just be the guy making the beats. And then I'd be in the studio, and I'd grab the mic and when we're recording, and I'd just do a funny little freestyle rap, and they'd be like, dude, you got to get on stage with us. So it just fell right in my lap. I was never like, oh, I want to be a rapper. Like, I just can't, I'd never think I'd want to do that. But it just happened. I started doing shows with them. We started selling tickets. People liked it. I don't understand. I still don't understand. You were there last night. There was 900 people there, like 10 years after the fact. And there's 17-year-old kids in the crowd that I'm thinking, how does a 17-year-old know? Because in like '07 is when we were peaking.
Yeah.
You know, that's when me and Mickey were like really all over and really pushing for the, for the music to tour the world and all these things. I mean, we toured with the Chili Peppers. We did the whole planet. And that was years ago. So to see young kids coming out now, it's like, we're doing something right, you know? We're just going to ride it till the wheels fall off. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm 40 years old, but I'm going to
take it for all you can get.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I mean, look, you got rappers like Jay-Z, they're in their 40s, and I think 2 Chainz is like 40. It's like, all right, I could do it.
Yeah.
I got a couple more years
Why
left
not?
in me.
Dr. Dre's pushing 60, so
You know what I mean?
he's good.
Yeah, he's making money in other areas too, though.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
checked out.
Oh, yeah, he's good. He's good. That's why we've
Yeah,
been waiting for
have you
the
ever
new
hung out?
product.
You ever hung out with Dre?
I met him once. It's funny. I actually met him once, and I don't know if he thought I was someone else. I was in a nightclub in LA, and there's Dr. Dre, and everyone's like, "Oh, Dre's here, Dre's here." I'm like, "Oh, great. What are you gonna talk to him? Like, I don't know the dude." All of a sudden, he points at me and waves, and I'm like looking behind me. I'm like, I know he's not talking to me. And he's like, "Come here," and his security brings me over, and he's just smiling ear to ear. "Oh man, I love your stuff," and I'm just thinking, I have no idea if he thinks I'm someone else, if he knows who
I mean,
Dirt Nasty
all
is.
white people look the same.
You know what I mean? He might have just thought I was Eminem or something, but he knows Eminem, so it couldn't have been him. So I just ended up having a drink with him, and then this is kind of embarrassing. I had a picture of me and Tupac because I interviewed Tupac many years ago when I worked at MTV.
That's sick.
I interviewed him just before he passed away. And there's a clip of it in the movie called Resurrection, which is a documentary.
Yeah.
So you ever see the movie, there'll be like a quick clip. You see me interviewing him. And I had it in my phone, so I was kind of drunk, and I go up to Dre, and I'm like, "Look," and I'm trying to bro down with him, like, "Look, I got a picture of me and Pac," and he kind of just tightened up a little bit, like, "Why are you showing me my dead friend? Like, what are you,
Yeah.
are you trying to win points with me right now, dude?"
Yeah,
You know
thanks
what
for
I mean?
bringing it up,
And
man.
I was just
Cool.
like, "Oh, why did I just do that? I should have just
Both my
played it
parents
cool."
died of DUI.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that too?
You know what I
I
mean?
don't want to talk about that.
Why would I bring that up? I was just, it's like human nature. You want to be like, people always do that. Like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
friends with so-and-so." It's like, okay, great. So I was that dude, and yeah, it just was sort of killed the moment. Like, it was like, yeah, and then it was like, not the move in the
Wait,
club.
wait a minute,
But
wait a minute.
not the move.
I actually hung out with him a bunch of times too, and he's like I was so like let down.
Dude, it's always like that with
You
celebrities.
think Dre's like this thug, I mean, being a white kid growing up in Orange County, I listened to NWA when
Yeah,
I
of
was
course.
like 11 years old. Like,
Yeah.
like 4th, 5th grade, I was already listening to NWA. Like, niggas for life, you know? And,
Now,
and
yeah,
Dre,
don't
and
meet your
you meet
heroes.
Dre,
Yeah.
and he's like a cheesy old white guy.
Yeah.
Hey, hello, nice to meet you, I'm Andre. I'm just like, whoa, bro, what?
Whoa,
Who
yeah.
are you?
Almost every celebrity you meet, you're kind of like, oh no, like, oh, I'd rather not have met them because I had them in my head as some fan, and then they're kind of just a normal person. You're like, oh, okay.
And he looks so young. The dude must be taking all the girls.
Well,
from all over
dude,
the world.
he's
I met him, he looks like a
big.
kid. I was like,
Yeah.
He's
I'm like, you're not Dr. Dre, you're Dr. Dre's kid.
Yeah.
He looks like he's 30 years old. He looks younger than us.
He's jacked though.
Yeah, he's in shape and he looks young. He
mean,
must take tons of growth.
Just jacked. Like
Well, there's
He can afford it.
there's things that extend the way you look, at least, not your life
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
of
And
course.
the women are all uglier than you expected, and the
Right.
men are all
yeah.
not as cool.
Well, I see him at my gym in LA all the time, and every time I was at the gym, he was there, and he would be there after I left, and he was just in there, just going for it, dude, just getting buff, you know. Big dude.
Yeah.
He was never like a bodybuilder type. It's kind of a.
But he's in shape for
Oh,
sure.
man.
Everyone's big to me. So
I think 50 Cent maybe rubbed out because 50 Cent was always. I want to be like him. I'm gonna get buff.
all of a sudden, just all
Yeah.
bloated.
Yeah.
One of the questions we got.
Let's see. Guest one wants to know what's your favorite artist?
Artists like music wise.
Yes.
I'm wondering. Okay.
Or art, whatever.
Yeah, my favorite. Well, I don't leave. Rap is so bad now. Rock is so bad now. I find
Rap
myself
sucks these
going
days, right?
back to the old
Doesn't it
stuff I
suck?
grew. Yeah, it does. I go back lately. I've just been going to iTunes and just buying like old stuff I grew up on. Metallica, Violent Femmes, Too Short, Two Live Crew, all the old stuff that back in the day was more rebel music that. I don't know. You turn on the radio now and it's like, wah, wah, wah. When we were, at least when I was a kid in the 80s and you turn the radio on, you had Madonna, Prince, Van Halen. The pop music was so good back then, and now I turn it on, I'm just like, oh, these kids nowadays, they don't
I
got
feel
it
the same
so
way
good.
about hip hop. Like hip hop nowadays is just like
it's bad.
it doesn't rhyme. There's nonsense. Like what are you guys talking about?
It
Just
does.
nonsense.
Yeah, it's just not, it's not hot.
Like we grew up with like Biggie and Tupac, and
Yes.
you listen to like the guys now. You're like, what is
No,
this?
I'm not feeling
Or
it.
we're
And
just
same
getting
with rock.
old. Or we're just getting
I think
old.
I always have this conversation with my friends. I think it's a combination of us getting older, but also it is suffering and it has gotten worse.
We're like in between music
Yeah,
eras.
But I'm sure our parents would say the same thing about us. They're like, oh, this music sucks. When we were kids, we had the Beatles, and you know what I mean? But I think it's progressively just getting worse and worse. and worse.
Music sucks in general.
Yeah, lately it's been
New
pretty bad.
music,
It's
at
all this
least.
EDM stuff, which is some of it's cool, but to me it just sounds like one song. Like I went to this festival in Miami called Ultra, and for 4 days straight it was just.
love
It's the
Ultra.
same song for 4 days in a
You
row.
survived.
Basically.
They should make shirts. I survived
Yeah,
Ultra because
totally.
it's legit.
It's tough.
Yeah, I can't do the whole EDM music. It just
Yeah,
makes
it
me
all
want-
sounds the same to me.
I used to
There's
feel
some
that way,
good
but now,
artists.
like 10 years ago, I said the same thing, but now like there's certain ones.
There's some good stuff.
I saw
but
some pretty good sets at Coachella.
Yeah.
Like Nero killed it with that chick singing. Nero
I
was
can't even keep up. That's how I know I'm getting old too, because I went to Coachella and I'm looking at the lineup and I'm like, AC/DC, I know them, and I don't know any other. I'm like, who are these people? I feel so out of touch right now. I don't know any of these bands. Yeah, that's just how it is.
Well, the lineup this year was. nothing
Nah, the
like
lineup's
before.
been suffering.
I think they kind of did it on purpose. They want to make a point, like we'll book whoever we want, and
Yeah.
we'll still sell out.
Yeah, and then I heard the Drake thing with Madonna when she kissed him. I missed that. I left early. That's how you know it was bad. I left early. I drove home a day early this year. I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm just walking around. I'm like, oh my, this is crowded. It's loud. My back hurts. Oh my God, I'm old now, dude. What happens? All these 20-year-old hot chicks, and I'm like, I'm tired. Oh man,
Exactly.
that's what it is.
All right, let's see. The next question. Kellen asks, what is your favorite song that you've ever created?
I'd say this song called My Dick, which is me, Mickey Avalon, yes, and Andre Legacy. We have a song called My Dick, which was in like Harold and Kumar, and it was
Yeah.
in a few TV shows. And I think that I produced the beat on that one. So to me, that's the one that's last night you were at the show. That's the one
Yeah.
we end with every show. The crowd goes nuts. It's just such a silly song. So I'd say that's the one I'm most proud of.
You
And,
brought us on stage. It was a good
Yeah.
time.
Is
that
that
was
is
fun.
that originally with you and Mickey?
yeah, me, Mickey, and then the other guy, Andre Legacy.
So
and I produced the beat on
So
that
like
one.
you guys, like one of you guys performs first, and then whoever performed first comes back on stage for it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So me and Mickey, when we're on tour, we alternate headlining slots. So I'll open up for him one night, and then vice versa, and then at the end we'll come out at the other one's set and perform that and a
But
couple
did you
other songs.
produce that song originally?
Yes,
too?
I produced
Yeah,
the song
awesome.
My Dick. Look at this. These
Okay,
just
so here-
came in hot
yeah,
off the press.
hot off the press.
Look at these.
These are
Huh?
the T-shirts that we are. You donate, and this is what you get. They're all signed by.
Oh, I'm
Greg
gonna
Nasty
sign.
himself.
I'm gonna sign them all.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Can I keep one to represent?
of course.
That's amazing.
Of course.
Beautiful.
Actually, we're gonna bring up a picture of the shirt on the screen.
Oh, cool.
Do we have that up?
Nice.
So yes, that's the shirt. Looks damn good.
Nice.
It's with Stop
Thank
Hunger
you
Now
guys
with
for
him.
making them. I
The
appreciate
shirt's
that,
black
man.
like my man.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, that's the shirt. Go on to directendorsement.com. Donate. You get the shirt. They'll all be signed, and you get it in the mail in a few days.
There you go.
So here, let's.
Yeah, that was an airplane joke I think you just did. Remember airplane? That's another 80s. I feel like the movies were better back then too, man. Like, the 80s were just the best. That was like our 60s, like our parents. Oh, the 60s. The 80s were the best.
Yeah.
For music,
Kids
film.
kids are such pussies nowadays.
Dude, yeah,
We were
exactly. You
legit.
used to just, and remember you have to meet someone like, okay, I'll meet you at 3:30. You had to just wait there there was no cell phones, I kind of miss the days
You actually
before
knocked on
all
the
that.
door. Is so-and-so home?
Yeah.
Oh, no? All right, I'll
Yeah.
go home now. See you later.
What happened to that? It's done. I'm about to go on a trip in a week to the Bahamas, and my friend who's bringing me is this pretty affluent, rich dude, and it's his boat and all this stuff. He goes, all right, the only rule
Tag your
is no
sponsor?
cell phones. That's
tag
amazing.
your
Let's talk about that in a minute. So my boy goes, but the only thing is I'm bringing you on this trip, no cell phones. I'm like, what if I want to take a picture? I don't care. I don't want to see your cell phone out for the whole trip. At the end of the day at night, when you're going to bed, you can whip your phone out and check your email. The whole point of this trip is we're going off the grid to live in the moment. I don't know if you've ever
For a
guys
week?
For a week.
Oh, I panicked.
I know, right? But that's the whole point, is to just go and like, you'll see a picture now where it's so programmed, like, oh, look at that beautiful. I'm going to put it on Instagram. It's like, how about you just
No, you're
enjoy
not.
it for yourself, like we used to do. You know what I mean? It's just become so crazy. So I've been slowly training for this trip by weaning myself off like it's a drug. You know, just a little less every day, like putting it down a little bit. So by the time I get there,
Well, maybe you can just switch, like, you could do like a sub. So, like, instead of like, just start using a flip phone for a couple days.
yeah, right?
So you can
Slow
only
down.
talk on it, but you
yeah,
can
yeah,
no
yeah.
texting
No
or
texting.
pictures.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
just go to the bathroom every 5 minutes and post something.
I know, right? I know I'm going to be that dude.
Of course, Ian finds a way to cheat.
Yeah.
Duh. I had a girlfriend who made me put my phone down. So I had to do it.
Take your phone and put it in your pocket. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thanks. More questions, please.
What we got, Ian?
So do you guys work
Nothing
with
yet.
any charities too?
I work a lot with the Ronald McDonald Foundation. I like working with kids because grown-ups, if you're in a bad
Grown-ups
situation,
suck.
if you're in a bad situation, you're a grown-up. It's your own fault.
Yeah.
You know, and military, I work with them too, but mostly, I like working with kids just because it's hard. Because I'll go do Ronald McDonald stuff, and I meet a kid. And then the next thing I know, I get a text message from my buddy who runs it, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, say a prayer. That kid is
dude.
gone."
Oh, that's messed up.
And my whole week is fucking ruined.
Yeah, that's
I'm like
bummer.
in my car, like, like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
awful.
Ian cries a lot.
Yeah, I cry a lot. I'm small.
We're
I'm fragile.
emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I get punched in the head too much. But I mean, it's good though. It's fun. I guess, you know, me working with adults is the military, because even the military guys are all kids.
Right.
You know, I'll go meet some of them and do Wounded Warrior stuff, and okay, so you're 19.
You already had your leg blown off.
You have no
Half
legs.
your face.
And your
Damn,
your
that's so
your
gnarly.
thumb has been sewn back into your body to grow a thumb. I don't know how that works.
Whoa, whoa, okay.
And all they talk about is going back out to avenge whatever happened. And I'm like, but have you ever gone out and like gone to a bar and got laid, you know, or anything like? And they're just like, no, I'm 19. I'm like, oh man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty heavy that the kids
Yeah.
can't go out and experience life or go out and drink, but they're old enough to go out and
I
drive,
know,
you
right?
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, it's trippy to think about that, but Americans need to understand, like, that's like the way of the world. That's how it is. Like,
I know.
Like a lot of people, I mean, we're kind of going off subject, but a lot of people these days, like, think about how many soldiers, like, we've lost, like, say in the Middle East in the last 10 years, 15 years since we've been involved over there after 9/11.
Something like
Well,
1,000.
we lose like 1,000 a year.
Yeah.
Which people make a big deal out of that and say, oh, Bush is a warmonger or Obama's a warmonger. People don't get it. I mean, you're a relatively smart dude. How many people? How many American soldiers died every year in World War II? Do you know?
Oh, it's got to be in every day in the thousands, I'd imagine.
1 million a year. We lost 4 million
Oh, in a
soldiers.
year.
We lost 4 million Americans
Yeah.
in 4 years in World War II.
Yeah.
A
And
million
then-
a year.
And in
We've been
Vietnam,
losing,
we lost.
We've been losing 1,000 a year, and people make a big deal out of it.
I know.
Imagine a million.
know,
like
that's
that's
crazy.
the America
Yeah.
has
The whole
gone
country
through
was
that.
at war,
That-
yeah.
That's how it is. Like, you know, it's a price. It really is. I mean, it's
Right.
cheesy, but it really is a price of freedom. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
it's true.
It's the way of the world.
It is.
Here, start signing some shirts while we
Oh,
answer these
sweet,
next
yeah.
questions.
Am I signing these just to anyone or just sign
Just
in
sign your
general?
name, yeah.
Okay.
So NAA, kind of nah, however you say it.
Nah.
Says, how annoying does it get when people offer you or ask you to do cocaine because they assume you do it from 1980?
Very good question, actually.
just assume.
I created a monster. See, when I did this song, let me do a little backstory for your viewers. I did a song called 1980 as a joke.
Yes.
As a white rapper, I would do comedy stuff. So I said, you know, all these rappers are always talking about selling drugs. I'm going to do a song about being the customer. Thought that would be funny. So I did it in the perspective of, oh yeah, cocaine, party, all this stuff. And I had no idea the song was going to be as big as
cult
it got.
classic.
Yeah, it's just like the one everyone loves. I created a monster. So every time I'm on stage, people are throwing bags at me. Let's go party. I was
should've
like,
come last night.
dude. I was like, dude, this is. I'm like, that's not. I'm not really serious when I'm saying that stuff. But what do you got? No, I was kidding. So it's a character that I'm playing. And even if I'm not, the whole thing when strangers come up to you and want to party with you, especially if they're a fan, like you're never going to win that one. Like they just want to hang out and then they want to party with you.
There's no good ending
There's
to that
no
song.
good ending to that.
There's no good way this is going to go. Like, no matter what, it's going to be awkward
It's
at some
going to
point.
be bad. So that does happen a lot. And it's because of that song 1980, people just, they want to party with me. So
It's like the
you know.
precursor to Stitches.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Have you watched that, dude?
Wait, what's
Stitches?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, with
Jesus.
the guy who cocaine. Yeah, exactly.
I love. His chorus in his song is "I love selling blow."
Yeah, he's crazy.
Every song is about selling coke.
Oh, that's it.
And his
the
whole
Miami
face
dude.
tatted up.
He
He's
has
got
the
the AK,
stitches right here.
stitches.
Yeah, he went
He's
for
got. I met him with
He
Stefan
went
Mark.
for it.
Yeah.
He's
He
got the
went
word
for it.
cocaine tattooed over his
Oh,
head.
yeah, he went for it.
The whole deal. He's only 19.
It's crazy. I couldn't believe that. He's like a Cuban kid from Miami.
Yeah, and I saw a picture of him before he got his whole face. He's like a normal, good-looking dude. Like,
Yeah,
good-looking guy.
he went for it.
He went
He's
all
got
the way.
Stitches right here on his mouth.
Oh, his whole face is tatted. He
I
got
know,
AK now on his cheek.
Again, back to Florida.
Yeah, it's Florida, man. That
Why?
place is
Because
nuts.
Florida.
That's Florida.
Yeah, Florida's another world, man. That place is nuts. But I love Miami though.
See,
I like Latin girls.
I
so
need
Miami-
to go to Miami and have a good time because I've never had a really good time.
Oh,
in Miami.
dude. This is like any other place you go. If you know the right people, you're gonna have fun. Like you could go to Hollywood, and if you don't know anyone, you're just gonna be like, this place isn't all that. You know the right people, you'll have a blast.
What other questions we got, Ian?
So, guest one says, besides music, what else are you into?
Let's see. I'm doing I just did a movie in New Orleans coming out called Student Bodies, which was cool. I like doing comedy, whether it's music, not stand up anymore, movies, TV, whatever. I just like making people laugh. So I just shot this comedy that's actually really funny called Student Bodies, which is coming out. And but then on the other side, I just shot NCIS. No, NCIS, is that a show? Is that what it's called? It's a CBS show about anyone?
Yeah.
NCIS? Yeah, it's called NCIS. Not CSI, NCIS. I just shot that, and it was like a dramatic
Navy
role,
one.
and I had to be, that's a Navy, and I had to be this murder suspect, and it was all serious, and I had to play this dude. I'm like, to me, that's
to
just
play a
not,
criminal.
Yeah, I had to
So
play
not
a
the-
suspect
it's
of a
not
criminal.
acting.
It was, exactly. It wasn't funny, is what it was. And so I just like making people laugh, but if NCIS hires me like they did, I'll do it. I just prefer to do comedy. You know what I mean? I want to be Chevy Chase. I want to be, make people laugh. That's the goal.
It's more fun that way.
It's way more fun that way. Putting a smile on people's faces is magic. You know what I mean? Some people's lives are pretty miserable, and if you could give them an escape for a few minutes a day, but with a 3-minute song or like the scary movies. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but those are just so silly. You just quoted a line from Airplane, which is the same director who did Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5 with me. His name's David Zucker.
Oh, really?
He wrote that line. He also did.
I could recite Airplane like word for
It's
word.
the
whole
best.
movie.
So he wrote that
Every
and
line.
directed it, and he also did Naked Gun. He did all those, and then there was another random one
all the
called
slapstick
Top
stuff.
Secret. You remember that one?
Yeah, of
That
course.
that one was the jam.
With Val Kilmer.
Exactly.
His first movie.
Yeah, that was amazing. So the same dude I worked with on a bunch of stuff.
Top
he
Secret.
wrote that.
Now,
Top
that's an
Secret.
awesome 80s
That's
movie.
a sleeper
That's a
right
legit
there.
cult classic
Yeah,
right there.
that's a good one. Souvenirs, novelties, party tricks. That was a line from the movie. I don't know. I really feel my age.
What was his name in the movie? Rick.
What was it? Oh yeah, what was it? Oh, anyway, yeah.
See, apparently,
Somebody
I don't feel my
Google
age.
it and
Yeah.
write it in as one of the questions. Tell us his name.
What was it? Val
Val
Kilmer's,
Kilmer's
role
name in Top
He
Secret.
played
Top
like a
Secret.
movie star. who
No, he
went
was a
to-
singer.
Oh yeah, singer.
He was like an
that's right.
Elvis type
That's
singer.
right. That's right.
Like a
He was
young
singer.
heartthrob.
Yeah.
Kellen asked another question. Wants to know, are you currently working on any other films?
I actually am about to shoot a movie in LA called I already forgot the name. Oh yeah, it's called Halloween. It's a Halloween stoner movie, and I play a stoner who just gets in a bunch of trouble. It's kind of like a Dude, Where's My Car? Just some silly stoner movie. So I'm shooting that in June or July.
Did
in
you
LA.
have anything to do with the Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down?
What's that?
No,
I didn't.
It's that mockumentary about how to party, like the rules, the do's and don'ts of partying in
No,
LA.
no.
You never heard of
No,
it?
I've never heard
It's
of
called the Boys and Girls Guide to Getting
Oh,
Down.
yeah.
To not getting laid, getting that
Getting
same thing.
down. And it's a mockumentary
Yeah.
about like,
Really?
the rules and
I
do's
love
and don'ts of
documentaries.
how to party in Hollywood,
Huh.
how to get in the club, how to get in the
Oh,
after
no way.
parties,
Oh,
how to
so-
get free drinks.
Is it out
how
now?
to get drugs.
Can I see it
It's been
now?
out for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on Netflix.
All right,
Dude,
I'll have
it
to
is
check that out.
amazing. It's
Nice.
hilarious. Like, have you never seen that?
Yeah,
I love it.
I've seen it a couple. I've watched like parts
Nick
of it.
Rivers.
Nick Rivers. How'd you get it? Did someone just tell you?
I just thought of it.
Oh wow. Is this the last one? we have more? I just wanted to keep one so I could. Is that selfish of me to keep one for me or give them all
Don't-
away?
don't sign it.
Because
We've got
yeah, I
a
don't want to sign my own shit.
We-
But I want to
we've got a
wear
bunch
one
more.
to rep the company.
Yeah, we've got
We got
we can
plenty
get
of
more.
shirts, bro. We
Okay.
got plenty of shirts.
There's plenty more where that came from.
Nick Rivers, I got it.
Yeah, Nick Rivers, dude, you did get it. Wow. So okay, I'm really upset. I don't know if any of you guys care about you guys follow basketball at all? No, basketball.
Only if I'm betting on it.
Oh man, my
don't-
Warriors.
Betting's illegal. I
I
don't
don't
do
watch
that.
sports.
My Warriors lost.
I watch kid
Why are you
shows.
big? That's your Instagram deal.
If you knew about Bubble Guppies or
What's that?
exactly, it's just a child. I have a 3-year-old daughter, so I watch. Kid
Oh,
shows
is that a kid
all day
show?
long, yeah. I'm finally catching up on Game of Thrones.
Dude, that show. This year's kind of sucked, man. I gotta be honest. I love it.
The
I'm
first
not gonna
three
spoiler
episodes-
alert. I'm just
The
saying.
first three
it's been-
episodes have been slow.
It's been slow. I want some blood, man. I want
And you know
some
what?
sex.
I almost feel like there's so many sub stories now. It seems like there's more sub stories than there were before.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You turn one
even
on,
if
yeah.
you watch every
It's a
one, you're
lot.
still like, whoa, okay, what's going on?
Yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, but that show's pretty awesome. Dude, that show's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's like $1 million. It spent more than $1 million per episode. To put that in perspective, the movie
It's
that
like
I'm
that.
probably gonna do in a full movie is the budget will be under $1 million. That's crazy for one episode of TV.
It's a lot of CGI stuff. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, usually the big budget movies come from like it's just all special effects.
Totally.
Like, I did a film with a $40 million budget,
Right.
But there
It was
was no
all
special
CGI,
effects.
right.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't.
Oh, there wasn't any. Oh,
No.
that's crazy.
But we had big actors like Nick
Right,
Nolte,
right.
Tom
Oh, there you
Hardy.
go.
I got to
There
hang
you
out with
go.
Nick Nolte every
Oh,
day.
that's cool. That dude's a legend.
That was the best. That was the best part of the
So
film.
rad.
Film I did.
What's
with
he
Nick
like in
Nolte.
real life? Does he wear pajamas all day?
Bro.
I heard he wears pajamas all day. Only.
He's
the best.
as awesome as you can imagine.
So he didn't let you down as a hero.
No, for sure. And he's one of those people who like he's like an elitist. So like he either likes you or you don't. So
Right.
if you don't like you, he don't talk to you. If he likes you, he's like all in you.
Right.
And he's one of those dudes who like has that it thing. He walks
Right.
in the room
Yeah.
and you're just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
And he could talk about anything and you're just psyched. You're just like, no way. really.
Wow. He just
I mean,
got that.
literally, the dude had me like mesmerized for like 40 minutes talking about, and this is not exaggeration. For 40 minutes, he talked about the vegetables he grew in his garden at home in LA, and I was so interested.
Wow.
Which is the stupidest thing ever. I'm just like,
Oh.
really, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like the carrots grew out of.
They go to the ground?
Wow.
Oh my God. How'd you do
I'll tell
that?
you some other stories. And he's supposedly been sober for 10 years.
After the famous DUI picture with his hair
He's
frazzled.
supposedly been sober.
That picture was awesome.
So, well, first of all, we were in Pittsburgh, and there's not much to do in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was miserable.
Yeah.
Within the first week of being on set, he got banned from the strip club. Because I heard the first day went up, sat in the front row, watched one of the girls, and he just did one of these.
No, he didn't.
And they're like, you can't come back. So then,
Wow.
like Tom Hardy and like Nick Nolte, those guys, they have their like an assistant, like
Yeah.
full time.
Right.
And he came to set one day, and his assistant's carrying this guitar. And Nick's just walking around. She follows him around everywhere he goes, does whatever he needs. She's got an electric guitar just hanging there, and I'm like. And then he seemed kind of out of it and loopy and weird. And apparently, I guess he had a problem with his wisdom teeth, so he's on a bunch of pain pills. So it's kind of loopy and weird, right? So between every take, he would just sit down, and I don't know if you've ever been on a big movie set, but there's like hundreds of people there. Like
Yeah.
if you're the actors, you're up against a wall. There's hundreds of people over here behind the cameras. And between every take, he'd wave, or he'd come over, he'd just sit there on his guitar, and go, bam, bam, bam. This guy doesn't know how to play a chord. He couldn't play a chord if it was like dependent on it. He just sitting there hitting the guitar.
Wow.
And I'm just
'Cause he
tripping on the
can.
dude.
'Cause
I'm just
he
like,
can.
so what are you doing, Nick?
Wow.
So you got any more of those?
Learning
He's
to play-
just on
He's like,
Percocet
I'm
jamming.
learning how to play guitar, Apple. Sweet, bro. And then like another time, like we had like hundreds of people behind the cameras, and he just gets up and turns around. There's a wall. He just whips his dick out and pissed like right there in front of everyone, like hundreds of people.
That must be. He earned it, man. I guess.
Oh,
when you
he's
become-
legit.
do
He's
whatever
like
you want.
multi. Like he would tell the director what to do.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that on movies before.
Yeah,
I did a movie
no-
with Burt Reynolds, and he would direct the movie. And,
Yeah.
I would do whatever Burton said.
yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I did a quick, funny, while we're doing Hollywood stories, I did a kids movie called Karate Dog, for children. And there was a CGI animated dog that talked, and it was my partner. I was a cop, and the dog talked and did karate. Pat Morita was the trainer of the dog from Karate Kid.
awesome.
And Burt Reynolds was the voice of the dog. So I had to sit in a room this big with Burt Reynolds for days on
Voiceovers.
end while he did the voice of the dog. So you really get to know someone when you're in a little room for days.
Yeah.
And I remember I was laying on the floor at one point because I'm just hanging out for hours. I'm just laying on the ground on my stomach, like on my phone or something. And he's trying to bro down with me. So he like walks on me and he walks over my butt and he steps on my butt and he looks down at me and he goes, "You got no ass, kid."
What do you say to that?
Exactly. What do you say when Burt Reynolds tells you you have no ass? I'm supposed to get defensive and say, no, I have
I have a great ass, Bert.
and it was just so awkward. And then I remember the producer coming in and trying to say, why don't you deliver the line like this? He goes, why don't you shut the hell up? I've been in this business 30 years. I know what I'm doing. He looks at me and goes, never listen to a producer. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Roll it. I was like, oh my God. He's just yelling at the, like he's that dude. He earned it. He was the dude in the 80s.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
What else we
Okay,
got?
let's go. Let's see. Kellen again. Kellen.
Kellen's all over it.
Can you drop some bars from the rap scene in Scary Movie 3? That would be the tits.
Okay, we have one night. Okay, I'm a white boy and my neck is red. I put Miracle Whip on my Wonder Bread. My face is pale and I never been to jail. Me and Buffy spend every winter in Vail. How many bitches have I slapped? 0. Martha Stewart happens to be my hero. I grew up on a farm and I was born with no rhythm. Dr. Phil's my uncle and I like to hang with them. I can't dance. My middle name's Lance. My grandma's from France. Damn, I forgot the last line. I was pretty close though.
I felt like you should have started beatboxing.
I have zero musical talent.
Yeah. So what if I'm whack because my skin ain't black, but you can't talk smack because Whitey just struck back, and then I hand Fat Joe the microphone. It was in a battle scene in a movie. I missed one line.
Was Jamie in that movie?
You're welcome.
Blonde Jamie?
Jamie Presley?
Yeah.
No, she was in
Was she
Karate
like in
Dog.
Oh, she was.
She was in
I know
Karate
Jamie
Dog.
real well.
Yeah, she was. It's okay. Here's another funny little bringing it back.
Speaking of crazy people.
Yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend. So it's okay if you did something. So I was dating her and I booked the movie to go shoot in Canada. And she was like, oh, you're not going to go up to Canada.
She's nuts.
And you're not going to go up to Canada and shoot a movie with some hot blonde, like there's a love interest in the movie. She goes, I know how this one goes. You'll be there for 3 months. The girl's going to be hot. You guys are going to hook up. I'm going to play the other chick cop in the movie.
She just put
so
herself,
the producers were like,
I'll do it for free.
They're like, we got Jamie Presley in the movie because she was worried that I would go meet some other chick. So all of a sudden the movie just kept getting better. You know, John Voight,
I love her.
Burt Reynolds, and her.
She's awesome.
Oh yeah, she's a fun one though. She's a cool chick. She's like one of the boys, you know. She's like
I know her real well.
Yeah, she's from the OC.
Yeah.
Crazy's always good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy's good.
how many girls we know that aren't crazy? Not
Yeah.
many.
I like the
Only
crazy.
the- only
I
the
like the ones
hot
that keep you on your heels, toes. I don't want to be just kind of bored with them. I need a little spiciness. You know what I mean? But not too crazy, like hook up with your friends crazy, but crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sore subject, right?
That doesn't happen.
Actually.
All right.
Anyways, so Tiffany wants to know, what is the wildest thing you've ever done?
Oh well, that's. I mean, I honestly don't remember my life, most of it. I don't know. I jumped out of an airplane. Is that crazy? Without a parachute? Just kidding. I jumped out of a plane with a parachute once. That was pretty nuts.
Can we really talk about the real craziest things we've done? I don't think we can do that.
Flatlining?
Yeah.
I died once.
I mean, yeah.
Flatlined more than once.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't. Nothing too. I can't think of anything too nuts.
Because life's relative, so the stuff we do,
Yeah,
we don't think it's that
exactly,
crazy. We're,
exactly.
whatever, it's normal.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
every day
gotta
is
having
crazy.
fun.
I mean, just going out on stage in front of hundreds of people and rapping about dumb shit is crazy. I do it all the time. So my life's just kind of crazy. I don't know, but it's all relative. You're absolutely right. That's a tough question. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Let's see. NAA says, being in the LA scene with quotes and the club scene somewhat for years, how much have you seen it change throughout the years, and what do you hate about it most?
Going back to what we were just talking about, Apple and myself, about how is it that we're getting older or has it changed? I think the same thing applies to the nightlife in New York, LA, Miami, anywhere. I go out now and I can't stand being in a club when it's just loud music and you're yelling over the music and it's just wasted people spilling their drinks on you. I guess when I was younger, I could tolerate that. I go out now and I feel like I can't spend 2 minutes in a club because I can't be the dude when a chick's like, how old are you? And I'm like, 40! It's just not a good look.
Old enough to be your
Yeah,
dad.
Exactly.
Old enough
hopefully.
to be your dad. Yeah, exactly. The music stops. Your dad. Oh, geez. So I think the LA scene has really gotten bad. They just opened the doors to anyone with money. Where back in the '90s and the 2000s, they had a door policy where they'd be selecting the hot girls, and you had to kind of know someone to get in. And now it's like you're buying a bottle, come on in.
You know what it is? Someone told me about Vegas, LA, just club scenes. It's the economy. When the economy is good, like normal people have money to go out and spend money, you know. But when the economy's bad or it's been bad for years like it is now,
Right.
Only certain people have money. And these are like athletes, entertainers,
Right.
drug dealers. So sometimes there's like people who, those are the only people who can afford to buy tables.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
Kind of like just like you're stuck in that
That
genre
totally
of
makes
people
sense.
who are at the
Totally makes
clubs.
sense. And that's how it's been for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So I think that to answer your question, it has changed for the worse. Also, yeah, just everything. I used to go out and I thought the music was better, like what we were talking about. I'm just becoming more recluse. I'm more of a dive bar guy lately. I'd rather just go to, like, we ended up in a little kind of a dive bar type situation last night for a live band playing.
Exactly. And
That's
good
the jam.
blues. It was awesome.
Great. It was great.
I mean, we went from someone's like, let's go to a club, and everyone was like,
No, bar.
no, dive bar. So then
Yeah,
those
dive bar.
two HA guys took us down the street.
I prefer, if I'm going to be in a nightclub, I want to be getting paid. I'll get paid money to go to one and perform or whatever. Like, so, dude, it's crazy. We were just on tour with Mickey, and a nightclub in Sacramento paid us to come sit in the club. That's pretty awesome, dude. I mean, just sitting in the club and getting paid a cash, and I'm like, dude, life is good. I can't complain about. So all of a sudden, that loud, annoying music was just a little easier to deal with because I'm like, okay, I'm paying my mortgage right now. So I feel like, but not just LA. I think Miami, New York, the whole scene has just gotten worse. I just feel like everything's, I don't know, this whole, everything with Instagram and everything, everyone's famous now and everyone wants to be famous and everyone's so fabulous and followers. It's like a big dick contest. You know what I mean? And
Social media is going to be the end of our society.
dude, it's ruining things. Like my mom said it perfectly. She's like, I don't like social media because I don't like my friends anymore from watching what they post.
Yeah, people have become delusional.
It's delusional.
And they're like in their own little world of seeing themselves,
They're
their
famous.
fake lives on social media, and they're like,
And it's always bragging. All it is bragging. Like, I'm getting on my private jet. I'm doing this. It's like, dude, like whatever happened to just, I don't know nothing, keep your mouth shut, like the G code. It's like now, and also, of course, not to mention the whole thing, it's like you can't go anywhere now. I'm sure it's the same for you guys because someone could like take a picture of you and geotag where you are. And you just all, you can't do anything anymore without being like, geo-tracked.
you ain't getting away with nothing.
No, dude, forget it. You have to be honest now, I guess.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal for us.
That's a tough one. It's like, where were you last night? I was at home. Really? Because there's a picture of you at 2 a.m. and she would tag you at the thing. You were behind the DJ booth. It's like, oh.
Now that I'm single,
Yeah.
how this is going to work out.
Yeah.
And you know what? My mom, I guess Facebook's different, but my mom's grandparents are on Facebook. I'm like, Mom, get off Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't want you to
Killing
like,
it, ruining it.
oh man.
Yeah,
But then, there's Instagram. Everything's just bad.
Yeah, in fact,
all
like
bad.
my mom said,
By
she
the
goes,
way, Moms, happy Mother's Day.
oh yeah, happy
I
Mother's
love
Day.
Mom. I
Oh
didn't do that.
yeah.
I'm a good person.
Yeah, good job, good job. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to me.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Hey, I'm raising,
you're a good mom.
I'm raising a daughter by myself.
There you go, Mr.
so-
Mom. I like it. You ever see that movie, Mr.
yeah.
Mom? Michael Keaton. That's a
Yes,
good
of
80s
course,
movie.
of course,
That one's
of
awesome
course.
one. But finish up what my mom said. She goes,
Yeah.
my mom will say like, her friends like posting a picture like having my morning cup of coffee, LOL. It's like, who gives a fuck? Everyone's having their morning cup of coffee, and are you really laughing out loud? The LOL thing kills me.
Yeah,
when people like a girl texts you, hey, what are you doing? LOL. There's no way you just laughed out loud when you just said, what are you doing? You did not laugh out loud.
not that
Stop
funny.
that.
Or, no, the worst is just you see someone's Instagram page, you look at the top and how many posts. If they have like 2, 3, 4,000 posts, it's like, come on.
And it's
That
all
means you
selfies.
post like 4 times a day.
It's all selfies.
I have a rule too. If 50% or more of your photos are just you,
Ooh,
We can't be
then
friends.
you need help.
ooh, it's
You need to get. I don't care if it's chick or not.
especially
you
well,
need
no,
to get
when
over
there's
yourself.
dudes that's just all photos of themselves doing the same thing. It's a little much, I get the hall pass because I'm do comedy stuff, so I'll make funny little videos, and at least I'm trying to get a laugh. It's not just like trying to look cool or something. So I'll post my stuff for the sake of, so I want someone to have a quick little laugh. Most dudes are putting their stuff on there trying to, get laid or whatever, trying to look good.
They're swole and they have a fake tan.
Oh.
At least the duck face is kind of dying out. It's still there.
The
but,
duck face kills me. Every girl does the same angle. You gotta be wary too, because when every girl does that same exact like
Yo, they're tricks,
one
too.
angle, and they have those apps where it smooths the face.
I was having this conversation the other day. Girls are getting really good at like hiding their size.
Oh, yeah.
So you see a lot of chicks on social media who like, oh, that chick's smoking hot. And then you meet her in real life and she outweighs you.
Oh, dude.
Catfish.
And they have like angles and stuff. They're really
so-
good at
no, they
hiding.
know
I
what
don't know
they're
how
doing.
they
They
do
know
it.
what
They're
they're doing.
professionals.
Women are liars.
Then they get out of the car and they're like that tall or something. I actually had.
Hey, don't make fun of
What's
short
wrong with
people.
being that tall?
No, you're that tall. This is it. So I had one recently. This is a funny one that happened though with the size thing. I feel like the art of picking up on women on the street has gone away because everyone's just online meeting chicks. And to me, there's nothing better than like in real life 3D because you want to see how they move and talk and smell. It's like a photo ain't gonna do it. You need to get the whole vibe. So
You smell their hair.
Yeah, everything. You know what I mean?
Whoa, creepy.
Yeah. No,
Smell strange people's hair?
Hey, I like the smell.
Girls that I'm trying to sleep with.
Yeah, you want to smell their hair.
I mean, that's usually
So this
like
girl,
alone at least.
so this was kind of like an Instagram
I
type
want to see you
deal.
smell some bitch's hair in the club and see what happens.
Oh yeah, it gets
See what
creepy.
happens.
I'll do it.
That's a creepy move. Uncle creepy. So this car pulls, a car's parked in front of my boy's apartment, and I pull up with Riff Raff. You know who he is? He's this rapper dude I work with who's, you either love him or hate him.
I follow him.
He's
It's
a funny
hilarious.
dude to me. I love the guy. He's a total character. Yeah. So I'm sitting in the car with him, and I pull up to these two girls that are parked, and I just pull up, and I'm just feeling kind of cocky and whatever. So I just start talking to the girls, and I was like, oh, da-da-da. And they're talking, and she goes, oh, my girlfriend thinks you're cute. I'm like, oh, that's cool. What's your friend's name? She goes, no, that's my girlfriend. I was like, oh. Okay, you guys are together. She's like, yeah.
deal?
She's like, why don't you take our number? So I take the phone number down, and then I go to call them up to take both of them out. This is some futuristic dating stuff. I'm taking a couple out.
Winning.
And Riff Raff didn't come with me. They didn't like Riff, so I took the two girls out together, and went to open the door like a gentleman, but I opened two doors because it's two girls, you know, and they're lovers.
Was one in the front, one in the back?
Yeah, well, this is where it gets weird. So I go to pick them up, and I had met them sitting in a car. So when I go to pick them up,
gosh.
she walks out, and she's 6'2" with Chuck Taylors on flat. That's too tall for me. I'm 6'1". I can't look up at a woman. I need to be like the man and feel like this girl was towering over me. And she's like, and I'm wearing Chuck Taylors. Imagine me in heels. And I was like, whoa. And it was the same thing as like the social
So you
media.
know who was
couldn't
pitching
really
and who was
tell.
catching.
Yeah, exactly. And
I've dated a couple 6-footers. I don't mind it.
I can't do it.
I'll
I can't
climb
do
that tree.
it. I can't do it.
Let's not talk about it.
I can't do it. So anyway, that could happen. The height thing's an issue. Oh man. So they could even. That's what my point is. They don't not only just trick you in real life. They can trick you in a car, man. You gotta
Yeah,
be careful.
all right.
These girls are deceitful.
See, my whole issue is it's a weight thing.
A weight?
A weight thing. Because I'm so small.
A weight. Like
Yeah.
okay, wait.
So, you know, my whole life revolves around being 125 pounds. Well,
It's miserable.
I can't date women that weigh more than me.
Right.
You know?
Well, you're lucky because most women. I mean,
mean,
imagine it's easy to find a girl
I'm
that's
200
115.
pounds, and I make it a rule not to date girls over 125 pounds. Trust me. If you weigh over 125, 130 pounds,
You're fired.
Yeah.
I usually stay
I
around
won't.
100 just because it's
Yeah.
easier for me.
it's just a general rule.
Yeah.
This turned into a dating show. I like
know.
it.
All right, back to these. So, how do you come up with your Vines and your YouTube videos?
I just.
Are you a Viner?
Yeah. Well, now it's kind of done. But in the beginning, I was like having fun with the Vine stuff, and
Are
you
you
know.
on Vine?
I'm not.
See, I'm not on Vine
It's
very
not.
much.
It's
I'm not
bad.
on it at
It
all.
used to be fun. In the beginning, it was definitely fun, and there was some talented people.
But there's
on there. I
people
met
on
some
Vine who are like just that's their full career.
It's,
they're
no,
making-
it's
they're making
crazy. I know
millions.
some of those people because
Like
you get
batch
paid
and
now.
stuff.
I know people that get paid like 10, 15 grand for a 6-second post, dude. Like my boy, one of my
Yeah.
boys, he makes 15 grand to do a post for like Chevrolet. And if you think about it, he's got 7 million followers. 7 million kids are going to look at that ad, whereas a commercial on a Major League
I'm-
Baseball game will be 7 million viewers.
I'm super knowledgeable. He knows my ex-girlfriend. She's an attorney and she works in like the YouTube space, and she represents like all these different blogger chicks who are like 23, 24 years old, making over 100 grand a month.
yeah.
All of them, and they don't know
singing.
anything about anything.
It's unbelievable.
They're just like cute little girls who speak
Yeah.
pretty well.
Look
And
like, oh, this
you know what they
shirt's
can do?
cute.
They can edit good.
Right.
They edit dope videos twice a week, and that's
Right.
it. And they're making tons of money.
It's
and
nuts.
brands are spending more money on that than they are in like traditional media.
110%. That's exactly what's going on with TiVo. Because you think about it, you're fast forwarding the commercials now, so they're like, oh wait, no one's seeing our commercials. We got to get in front, and everyone all day is like a zombie on their phone. So let's put the ads right there. So yeah, I know some people are killing it on Vine. But anyway, to answer your question,
Yes.
I don't really have a plan to come up with stuff. I kind of just sit around, and if I think of something funny, that's what's so great about like Instagram or Vine. And the good side of it is you can just whip out your phone,
Spontaneous.
think of something. Oh, here's a funny idea. Skitty babba doo doo, joke, bad joke, ha ha, boom boom, and then put it out there and see if people like it or not. You just put yourself up there
So
for
is all
rejection.
your stuff like, is it literally organic, or do you like plan like, hey, I gotta post this today at this time?
I don't
Because you know
really
there's a
do-
formula for
there
what time
is.
you post
I
shit,
learned to do
how
that
often
later.
you
Like
post stuff.
you post something at 1 in the morning, it's not going to get as many likes. Everyone's just obsessed with likes now. But it has become a business to where these advertising people are looking at your engagement, how many likes you get, how many followers you have, and based on that, they will pay you based on that. So you do want to get as
And you
many
have to
as can.
interact. You gotta answer fans. and stuff.
Absolutely. The interaction, that's what I learned too. It's not just about the likes or views. If they see the comments, like for instance, if I do a post and it has 5,000 likes, but there's 1,500 comments,
means
then they're
more.
like, that's where we want to pay you because we see how engaged people are. They're not just flying by going like, they're actually sitting there like talking about it.
These are
and-
big words. You should write
Yeah,
them down.
write these down.
Engaged.
Yeah. But
Engagement.
it
I was
is,
engaged once.
it's become a business, and it's a big business, and I know people who are killing it. But I put the Vine, I just can't even open Vine anymore. You open it up, and it's just some horrible, racist, really loud joke, and you're just like, oh God, it's the same old observational humor, like someone opening the fridge and it's empty, and ooh, that's not even funny, okay? You know what I mean? So it's just gotten to that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a format. I guess a plan. I just wing it. In life, you should just live in the moment and wing it. You know?
The only Vine videos people ever send me are the big fat black tranny with the huge.
Oh, that one's funny though.
That's pretty funny.
That's
but
pretty.
it's just
That's
it's
pretty
just
funny.
some naked.
But it's not trying to be funny. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
funny.
it's just-
Oh, the dog
Yeah.
hanging?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like in the foyer or
That's
something.
Vine?
sitting there, right?
I thought it was just
I
a
Oh,
thought
photo.
yeah, it might
I
have
thought
just
Vine's
been.
videos.
Yeah, no, it was a video because it's swirling.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's a
Thank God I've
swirling.
never seen that one.
Oh, it's a swirling.
It's
It's a swirling. How has MTV changed? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
You
Save-
asked me.
Yeah, Eric. Finally, one for Eric. What is it like filming the movie Warrior, and are you currently working on any other movies?
Warrior was awesome. I mean, the only thing that sucked was I broke my neck filming the movie. I got hurt on set.
Fighting?
Yeah. Basically, I played like the remember Karate Kid? I'm Johnny.
Oh, okay. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
I'm
You're the bad guy.
I'm
Oh,
the
that's
bad
cool.
guy
That's
fighter.
cool.
I'm a dick to everyone.
That's
So
cool.
I had no acting whatsoever. I just was myself. They just changed my name.
But you got the
That's what it
natural charisma. You're good.
I know Billy Zabka, by the way. No big deal.
Yeah.
is. So it was cool. I mean, honestly, Tom Hardy's pretty cool. Joel Egerton was really dope. You know Joel?
No.
Joel Egerton. He just.
I'm sure
did
if I
that.
saw him, I'd know him. I just bad with names.
He's super dope. Obviously, we talked about Nick Nolte. It was awesome hanging out. But I mean, movies is not easy,
No,
especially
it's
when you're doing fight scenes and stunts. So I had I acted and I had to fight. That was why they cast me. They needed a real fighter
Right.
who could also talk.
Right.
So I had to do all my own fight scenes, and it's tough. I mean, you're doing some stunts. Like those dudes take a beating. Like I took
Over and over and over. Cut. Do it again.
Oh
again,
yeah,
again, again.
I mean, there's one scene in the movie where I get like full on like pro wrestling style suplex, and I had to do it like 30 times.
Yeah.
And it's not a joke.
No, you really are doing
And
it.
we filmed it. They showed me actually landing, so we filmed it in a regular boxing ring, no crash pad. I mean, it was legit.
Wow.
It was not a
Back
joke.
pad at least? Anything on you?
Nothing, no,
Wow.
just
Because you're
tuck-
probably shirtless,
Just
right?
tuck my chin and hold on.
Wow. Is that how you broke your neck? Was it
Yeah,
suplex?
I broke my C6.
Oh my God.
Was it at least someone who knew how to suplex you?
Yeah, the stunt dudes were super cool, but I mean, I did it so many times.
Yeah.
Well, how did you hear? Did you have to do the movie in a neck? Was this the
Yeah, so I didn't know.
that you messed your neck?
I mean, I've had 13 orthopedic surgeries. I've had like a lot of real serious injuries, my wrist,
Right.
my knee. Like I've had multiple like real serious injuries. So I just thought like I had a sore neck. I tried to be like, I'm all right. And
Right.
days, weeks going by where I'm like, I can't lift my head really. I'm like walking around like this for like
Oh,
weeks.
not
And then
good.
the movie. I mean, like they don't want to stop production. I mean,
No, they
they're
can't.
spending $1 million a day, $500,000 a day.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, like I'm pretty sore. Like, I kind of think I should go to the doctor. And they're like, no, you're fine. Just stay on set. We'll bring you a chiropractor out to the set. We'll bring him. So they brought a massage therapist and a chiropractor all day. And I'm still like stuck like this. And then I try to like, man up for the scene. Like try to be cool, but I'm hurt.
Oh.
I finally told him like, I don't care what you guys say. I'm going to the doctor. I'm getting some x-rays. Like something's wrong. And I went there. The lady's like, when did you break your neck? I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, your C6 is broken. I'm like, oh, dope.
Wonderful.
Wow. Wow. That's
But
some
other than
real
that, I mean,
stuff.
it's a really cool experience. It's not really something that I like.
It's not as
hard
glamorous
work,
as
dude,
you
yeah,
know.
it's-
You think it's glamorous. I bring friends to set when I do a movie, and it's just sitting around all day, eating at the craft service
Yeah.
table, and then you shoot for a few minutes. They always say you get paid to wait, and the acting's free because you're just sitting around for 12 hours a day, and you shoot for an hour. So as you know, you're just kind of hanging out all day, which is
Yeah.
cool. You get to meet
I
some
mean,
people.
and
hang
how many
out.
days do you go sit on set and you don't even do anything?
Oh, I've
You go
done
sit on set for 10, 12 hours?
Yeah,
and
no,
they're
no,
like,
go
oh, you
home.
go home now.
Go
You're
home.
like, what?
Yeah, that's why you
What?
just gotta, bring a book or a movie in your trailer and chill, because you just be sitting all day.
I mean, it's cool. Like I did a legit, as big as a movie as it gets.
Yeah,
It-
that's huge.
the
I still
movie-
haven't seen it. I'll be honest.
The
I
movie,
haven't seen it.
It was
yet.
the highest rated movie, like in Rotten Tomatoes that year. It was Oscar nominated.
No
and,
way, that's awesome.
I was cast as a lead. So
That's great,
it's one of those
dude.
things,
I'm
like,
gonna go check it out
I
now.
got to say I did it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Never
I don't want to do that all my life.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Alright,
a
so-
whole different animal, man. And I could never do what you guys are doing. You guys go in the ring and fight people. That's some gnarly shit.
That's normal.
It's all right.
That's normal for you guys.
Normal for us.
Again, you get
We were doing it before we got paid.
Yeah,
you become accustomed to it.
yeah.
But let's see here for Simon. How has MTV changed since you were a VJ?
They don't show videos anymore. When I was there back in '96, I was saying, hey, coming up, here's a video from Alanis Morissette, Metallica, and Sublime. And it was like, that's what a video jockey was, a disc jockey, but videos. That doesn't exist anymore. And I remember while I was at MTV, it was when, remember, Road Rules and Real World had just come out. And I remember
Real World was like the start of all
that was it. That was the first reality show. And I said to them, why are you guys showing these shows instead of announcing videos, doing videos? They go, because the ratings are 15 times better than showing videos, and the advertising money is tremendous, so we got to do it. And then eventually, if you remember, MTV just became all shows, Beavis and Butthead cartoons. Then they created MTV2, which was just videos. Then that became all, it's like, because the money was just too good to turn down, so it was no longer music television. So to answer your question, the difference is, they don't show videos anymore. I was there at the very end in '97 when it was still MTV, you know? Yeah, that was a different era.
I mean, literally, if you watch MTV for a 24-hour period right now, you
no,
won't see one video,
I think
right?
in the middle of the night they do now. I'm not sure. I think like they show late night videos, but you got to turn on like MTV Jams or I don't even do it. Now you just go to the YouTube to watch a video, you know? It's crazy. So it's changed. It's changed a lot.
Yeah. So let's see. When are we going to see the the return of Crispy Jezebel?
I think this is one of my friends hitting me up because this is an inside joke. I put up a Instagram video. There's this app where you can take like a photo and you put your mouth in it and say what it is. And I took a picture of this little girl and I just had her saying some things that maybe weren't too politically correct. And it wasn't even that bad, but they reported it, flagged it, and had removed it. But it really wasn't that bad. I was just doing this voice like, yeah, I was like, hi, I'm Crispy Jezebel, and I think it, and I just did some silly voice. But for some reason, people got offended by it. I didn't say anything sexual, anything drug-related, anything crazy. But I think maybe the person's father, the little girl, because I don't know who the little girl was. Maybe the dad was like, hey, you can't do that to my daughter, you know, something like that. So you got to be careful with that stuff. So I don't think Crispy Jezebel's coming back. If this is one of my boys, I know what you're doing.
See, the direction Vines are heading the movie Idiocracy
Yes.
is going to be in our near future.
Pretty much. That movie nailed it. Did you see that movie, Idiocracy? It's a movie about the future and how dumb everyone becomes because of technology. That's pretty on point.
I
think social media is going to ruin our society.
It's bad. It's good. It's so good and so bad. That stuff's amazing.
Well, it's made everyone sluttier, or at least you get caught more. And people are more dumb. And
I don't think it's made everybody sluttier. I think it just glamorizes it.
That's true. Everyone just wants to be.
And now
there's always been whores in.
Oh, I understand.
Right. Now you just have more access to it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, here. We're about to wrap up. Let's get back to these. Go on directendorsement.com.
Yes.
Buy these T-shirts because they're awesome and they're all signed by Simon.
That's right.
And the money is going to go to this lovely charity, StopHungerNow.org.
Yep, that's right. Please, guys, whatever you can do helps. Thank you guys for having me on to promote it. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having us.
260 million meals and counting.
Not bad, is
it? A lot of meals. So, guys, thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching, and we will be back very soon with the next show. We'll keep you updated.
See ya.
Audi 5000.
Shoots.
Thanks.